basketball and Shea Ralph. We'll go ahead and open up the floor for questions.
Can you kind of talk about where the offensive struggles came in that first half?
Yeah, I think, number one, we just missed a bunch of wide open shots early on. I think at the halftime we were like 1 for 18 from the three-point line. And it was really the first quarter, because the second quarter was 17-13. If you look at it quarter by quarter, the first quarter 22-7, we just never really overcame that. And it wasn't like we weren't getting shots. We were missing wide open shots. And then I think you saw that take the wind out of our sails a little bit. It felt like we got a little shell-shocked. And, that can't happen. I think in law of averages, we talked about that at halftime. Eventually those shots are going to fall because these are kids that are shooters. Wide open shots, they'll fall. But then we started making some defensive mistakes. You can't give up 32 second chance points, 26 offensive rebounds. I know, I get it. But still, we don't have, I get all that. I get that. You still can't give up 26 offensive rebounds. You can't give up 25 points off turnovers. I feel like there were possessions where we looked like we knew exactly what we're trying to do, and then there were possessions where we looked like someone just lit our team on fire. And we were throwing the ball all over the place. And we played a lot of different lineups today, which I thought some kids came in and did a really good job. Thought Jada Brown, for having not played most of the year, came in and really helped us. I thought Mitch did the same, Ryan Allen. And that was one of the things I talked to you guys about yesterday, wanting to see if we could do that and give some of our guys a break. Turns out we got in a bunch of foul trouble in the first half, so they got a lot of breaks anyway. But I was happy that we were able to get some contributions from other people. Just not happy with the outcome of the game. I don't feel like the score tells the whole story, because except for that first quarter, we were pretty competitive. And I felt like there were times, certainly in the second half, where we had momentum and where we were going toe-to-toe with them. That's the team that I know. So whether or not we make shots can't be determine how we play. How we play has to look the same all the time.
Is Jordan Oliver okay after, she looked like she maybe twisted her ankle or something?
She did. Good job. She twisted her ankle. But she did it in practice a few days ago, so she re-aggravated it. He just wasn't able to go after that. That's exactly what happened. She twisted her ankle. She should be okay.
After the Alabama game, you mentioned this idea of, painful growth.
Yeah. You get a feel for it?
Growth.
Yeah.
So, what are you looking for out of the team through these last 6 regular season games? It seems that you guys got past, the tougher ranked opponent, South Carolina, LSU.
Yeah.
What are you looking to get now out of the team going down the stretch?
We need to win. We need to win games that we can win. But I'm not a coach or a person that ever focuses solely on outcome. I've never done that. I never did it as a player either. I've focused on process, and that's why I talked about painful growth the other day, because I think there's lots that we're learning that we can do well, and then over the course of these last 5 games, we're learning a lot about how we need to be tougher. And I'm not talking just about physical toughness. That's clear. I'm talking about mental toughness in moments where we miss wide open shots. We can't be pissy and have a sourpuss look on our face, whether we're in the game or we can't do that. I'm talking about emotional toughness. When people get an and one and they scream in our face, or we get in foul trouble when the ref calls whatever he calls or she calls. So there is a level, a layered level of toughness. And I do see that we're growing. We're just not getting the results we want right now. But I don't want my team to focus on that. We got to focus on making sure that we continue, even if it's very small incremental growth. Like today, after that first quarter, it could have easily been super ugly. It could have, but it wasn't. And there were moments where it was. But I felt, like I said before, we were competitive, and I felt like we fought. But we have to fight from start to finish. And we have to be a team that does that no matter what. Because the reality is, and I've told them this, I'm not telling you guys anything I haven't told them, we are not going to be the biggest team. We are not going to be the most talented team. We're not going to be the deepest team. We're not going to be any of those things. But we can be the toughest team that plays like the best team on the court, that gets all the 50-50 balls, that plays legit defense no matter if we make shots. We can be that. We can be that every game. So we have to be that from the first quarter through the fourth quarter. And when you play teams like LSU and you're not that for a whole quarter, it's going to be hard to win the game. It is.
Caleb Pierre had a fantastic performance today. Double-double, 2 steals, 2 blocks, and only -3. How do you describe her performance today?
You know, I mean, these are games that will be stepping stones for her. She is, you know, she's young. She's at times she can, you know, she's like a baby deer out there, but supremely talented, supremely athletic. And she's starting to find out what it looks like to play this level of college basketball. And, you know, and there's so many stories I can tell. Even yesterday, we're working on going over how they're going to play in the post and how she's going to have to guard them. And she's guarding one of our practice players who happens to be very big and strong. And she couldn't move him. And she's like, I mean, I'm pushing it pretty hard. I was like, you don't know. You don't understand what you're about to see tomorrow. You don't understand. And she comes out of the game like, okay, I get it. Like, oh, yeah, exactly. But that's what's going to have to happen, you know. And I want it to happen tomorrow, as does everybody, because you can see the kind of player that kid can be. But this is just hopefully going to be part of you know, her understanding what it takes and then putting that into action and practice, so that each game you're going to see a little bit more of the Camille Pierre that she can be. You know, it's even this year, you know, down the stretch.
Can you talk about what went into starting her over Justine today?
Well, I felt like there were a couple reasons. Number one, I wanted to see, you know, if we could spark a little different energy. We talked a little bit recently with our team and with you guys about our starts have been slow. And I also felt like it was a better matchup for us physically with LSU. And I'm gonna think about that as we move into the next stretch of our season. We have a few different lineups, a lot of different people that I think can contribute, and I think we have to be strategic about how we use them so that we match up well and we're able to get what we need and put players in position to do what they're really good at.
All right, Coach, thank you for your time.
Appreciate you guys.